Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Hello, good Saturday evening, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Q2 Weekend News. I'm Dustin Klemann. A man attacked and robbed while walking into the Billings Walmart on Friday night. Police say the assault happened at the Heights Walmart shortly before 9:30. The man was walking into the store when two male suspects approached him. One of the suspects asked the man a question to distract him as the other suspect came up behind, striking him in the back of the head. He fell down where he was kicked before the suspect stole his wallet and fled. They were only described as male with no other descriptions provided to police. They have not been found as of news time right now. No word on the extent of the victim's injuries or condition. Meanwhile, a man is recovering after being stabbed in the chest by his drunk roommate on the West End. Police report a short scuffle over a blade ensued, with both men receiving minor cuts until the knife was finally dropped. The victim was able to call 911. He was then transported to the hospital for medical attention. The suspect was later located by officers and placed under arrest after receiving medical attention himself. He faces a felony charge of assault with a weapon. Police said the victim's injuries were not life-threatening. Following up from news last night, Big Bear Sports Center will close its doors in Billings for good, and employees were told in a recent meeting. Back on November 4th, if you remember, a man drove an SUV through the front entrance of the West End store. Damage from the standoff included flooding, tear gas, and bullet holes. The man involved in the incident with police, Frank Half Jr., was shot and killed by officers during the 9-hour standoff. Billings Sports Bear Center has operated in Billings since 1959. Big Bear also has a store in Great Falls. No word yet on the status of that business moving forward. In other statewide news, another man has died on Montana roadways this morning. According to Montana Highway Patrol, it happened around 9 a.m. near Great Falls. The man overcompensated after he drifted off to the road. The vehicle rolled several times and ended up in a field. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected. Alcohol is a suspected factor in the crash. The man was not identified. To national news, the president tweeted out reaction to the release of the GOP memo Saturday, calling himself vindicated. But House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says the document should not have been declassified, and its release could ultimately cause a constitutional crisis. CBS News' Laura Podesta has more on today's fallout.
President Trump praised the release of a controversial 4-page memo compiled by Republican staffers on the House Intelligence Committee. Tweeting Saturday, this memo totally vindicates Trump in probe, but the Russian witch hunt goes on and on. There was no collusion and there was no obstruction. The memo claims that FBI agents relied primarily on a politically motivated dossier compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele when they sought permission to surveil Trump campaign foreign policy advisor Carter Page just before the 2016 election.
It's about a distorted memo that the Republicans decided to put forth.
Democrats like House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi say the American people should note that a corresponding memo written by Democrats was not released in conjunction with the Republican one. If it were, Pelosi says the public would get the truth.
What is false in their memo, what is a misrepresentation in their memo, where they just are cherry picking in terms of the facts.
Pelosi called the Republicans' decision to release the document dangerous and reckless, and it could result in a constitutional crisis. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Representative Jerry Nadler, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, released a memo late Saturday, but it is not the official Democratic rebuttal to the Nunes document. That memo will come from Representative Adam Schiff and the Democratic members of the House Intelligence Committee. We come back to Montana. Their finest cowboys and cowgirls honored today in Great Falls. 34 new inductees to the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame included the late Governor Judy Martz. A large crowd honored new inductees at the 12th anniversary Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame, and those in attendance celebrated the notable accomplishments and lasting legacies of all 34 for the class of 2017, including the organization Montana FFA Association. Among them in our viewing area, David Herman Braringer, St. Paul Case, and John Otis Jack Hash from our viewing region. You can go on KTVQ.com later this evening for a complete list of those now in the Montana Hall of Fame. Flathead area Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks is embarking on a new research project looking into mule deer populations in northwest Montana, specifically the Libby and Fisher River area. And as MTN's Nicole Miller reports, catching them may be the hardest part.
Mule deer are a very important big game species. Obviously, they're a very popular species for hunters to get out in the fall and to chase.
But this winter, it's biologists and game wardens with Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks doing the chasing, teaming up to wrangle as many as they can.
Over the next few months, we're going to try and capture 30 in a specific location and 30 in another area in the Whitefish Range.
They're rounding them up as part of a research project that Region 1 Education Officer Dylan Tabish says will give them insight into the population.
In recent years, we've seen some minor drops in our check station data after hunting season.
Tabish says populations could be perfectly healthy, but in order to find out, they need to catch them.
Making sure we understand how the population's doing, what trends could be out there impacting our big game species, whether it's predation, habitat changes, nutrition.
Tabish says they're finding out capturing them is easier said than done.
Trapping the mule deer is proven a little difficult. The terrain's a little rugged, and these animals are pretty smart.
Tabish says the goal of the project is to ultimately gain insight into the population in order to manage them better.
Research is a huge part of what we do because that really helps give us ideas about how we should be properly managing our wildlife and fish species.
Nicole Miller, MTN News, Kalispell.
The findings of the report, which will be released, will go beyond just the Northwest region and help the entire state. In Billings, we go to a story before we go to break. Strength, coordination, technique, strategy, it's all needed for success in rock climbing competitions. And today, Steep World hosted about 90 climbing into 18 different categories at the 8th Annual Montana Bouldering Championships. Steep World has been on its new location on Gable Road since November. The climbers, they go without ropes. Fortunately, the floors are padded just in case anybody tends to fall. Organizers say the sport has high levels of technical difficulty on courses reaching no higher than 16 feet.
We actually call them problems, and boulder problems are indicated by the different colors of holds here. So we just make a trail of holds, and that's all you can use for hands and feet for that particular problem. Finger strength wins the day on most of these problems. And it's really fun because sometimes you just swear you can't get something, and then something clicks, and all of a sudden you try something a different way and you go, oh yeah, that's it, got it.
Problem solving at Steep World, I like it. The top 6 men and women will compete in the finals, which starts tonight at 6. Coming up on the Saturday Q2 News, more states are reporting high flu activity with an uptick in hospitalizations. While the very latest in medical news next. Later in sports, we're back in Alaska with MSUB's women. Highlights from an afternoon tilt with Fairbanks on the way. And in the Weather Center, we saw a quick flurry of snow this afternoon. Brett McCrummen with more on what to expect.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did see some snow showers, and we still have snow around the area. Let's take a look outside with our first interstate iCam. 6 degrees right now. We've got northeast winds at 18, so it makes it feel like 13 degrees below zero. More snow is on the way, especially for tonight and carrying over into tomorrow night and Monday. We'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes.